Hey, welcome back to the exciting episode of Yoml. This is the year of magical learning. Today we are on reflection 217. So this is actually the conclusion, part two of two installment from one the book we talked about like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. And so maybe if you guys forget what it is, this is about the gentle art of Swedish death cleaning. And this is, I guess, the conclusion, the finale of what Chris is, the
What I
the
learned.
30 day challenge, right? It's a 30 day
Yeah,
challenge that you did.
yeah.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was my monthly challenge.
What's the challenge? Right.
Back in, I don't even remember when it was. I guess it was sometime in the summer, last summer. So I don't know. It's probably like 8 months ago, I guess, or something like that now. But yeah. So this is the conclusion of officially what I learned. If you remember back to part one, that
Is it a
was
dramatic conclusion?
it is dramatic. It is very dramatic. Let me go back to part one. When did we do that? It was a couple weeks ago, I feel like. It was reflection 196. So we're on 217, right? So
Yeah.
this it's about right. So it's about, I wrote about 20 a month, every month, reflections. So yeah, so this was, I started the first one at the beginning of the month, and then, here we are. This is like in the real timeline of 1 month later, writing, doing this stuff every single day. So just a quick recap: the book is about death cleaning, which is what it sounds like. It's cleaning your own home and your own stuff yourself before before you pass away, so you don't become a burden to your family and your friends and all the stuff that you have. Like, it's spending time with your stuff and donating it, giving it away, or keeping it, and continuing to leverage it. But spending that special time with your things before you let it go. And it's usually for older people that are literally like old, and their death cleaning because they don't want to burden their kids or their family or something like that. And going through that process. For me, I decided, spurred on by this book, that was actually recommended by my therapist, to take up this monthly challenge of randomly of trying to do 20 minutes of my own tidying every day. It wasn't death cleaning, but like tidying. So I like went through all like my drawers and cabinets and pantries and hall closets and my like toiletry cabinets and like whatever. I just went through like my attic. I went through like all this shit for a month. And every night I spent like 20 to 30 minutes or something like that, just tidying up and either throwing stuff away or marking stuff to be given away, or or using it. So it was fun. So had a really good time. But here's my official lessons, is part two of the reflection. Let me share my screen. So lesson one was that I learned from I got 4 lessons from this. Lesson one was everything deserves to have a purpose in this world, and that even includes our stuff. Like, it was really weird pulling out like all these different t-shirts and all these different clothing items and pants and stuff that I never worn, and shoes that I never wear, that are old, or they're gross, or towels or whatever, like just random things in your attic, furniture pieces that you have tucked away in there. Like, it was just really, really weird. Sorry, there's like a bug that just crawled right next to me, and it's bugging me. Hang on a second. Good job, but bugging me.
That's his purpose.
Oh, I missed it. Crap. Damn it. All right, I'll let it slide. I'll give him a lifeline. I missed it.
Did you hear what I said?
I did. You said it's due to his purpose. exactly. Everything has a purpose. You know, and bugs are to bug you. No, I'm kidding. The so it was just weird. You know, t-shirt after t-shirt, I'm pulling out of the drawers, and I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, man, I've never even freaking worn this. I had like, I'm not gonna kid you, like probably 150 t-shirts that were just like I'd never even worn them. You know, they're things that like you get from like work activity events or sporting teams you're on, or you know, high school stuff or whatever. It's just like I literally had a stack of t-shirts like from like, you know, 5 feet tall, not 5 feet, like probably like 3 feet tall, you know, and like all these different containers and stuff like that in my closet, and I never wear them. Like I was like, man, this is just sad. My whole closet was busting full of, you know, my drawers were like busting full of t-shirts that I don't even wear anymore. Anyway, you know, I have like 15 t-shirts that I regularly wear, like, you know, when I work out, and then like this kind of stuff, and that's about it. You know, I'm gonna have like dress clothes and stuff, but like from like a t-shirt or wearing perspective, or pants, or you know, whatever else, man, this thing is this little jerk. I gotta get rid of this guy. Sorry. Time out. I will be right back. It's got, because it'll crawl like right over my head and it could drop on me, and I don't want to do that because there's little lights right here. Hang on, I'll be right back.
He's just attracted to the light.
Bitch. I still didn't get them, and now I'm like even more. You know what? I'm just gonna move over here. We're just gonna turn the, because it's like I have like windows right above me, and he could just be straight up crawling on this beam right ahead. I have bugs every once in a while just drop on my head, and it drives me nuts. And like this looks like the little creepy weird bug too. So like I do not want it to just like fall on my hair. Um ugh. Now I'm like all freaked out. All right, I'm gonna go sit down. All right. So back to the regular scheduled program. The So yeah, everything has a purpose. Like we'll just end it there. I really felt bad that I was limiting, you know, these items of, you know, clothing or furniture or whatever, just tucking them away in a drawer. Like, I don't know, I felt bad. The more time, I know that sounds stupid and weird, but like the more time I spent with, you know, cleaning this stuff, like I really started to feel bad that I was like, what am, you know, like what am I, like, I feel I I should either let you go, or, you know, give you a chance to go be a, you know, do your purpose for somebody else, or something along those lines. I was like, who am I to keep you tucked away in a drawer gathering dust? You know, I was like, I've started to actually feel feelings for inanimate objects, and I was like, this is getting weird. But you know, that was lesson one: is everything deserves to have a purpose. It should have a purpose, and it should serve that purpose. And if you don't let it do that, then it doesn't belong in your life. You know, whether it's yours or their purpose. So that was point one. Point two is letting go can be fun, actually. I actually had a ton of fun doing this whole entire thing. I don't know what it was, but every night, like I really looked forward to it. You know, it was just fun to like go through old stuff, you know, like t-shirts that I, you know, got from certain places, or you know, and remember where I got it from, or furniture items that I, you know, had previously used, but now it just, you know, was tucked away in the attic or whatever, or I don't know, it's just memories, like books, you know, things like that you know had when you're younger, or things you had enjoyed, or I don't know, it was just interesting, like, or going through like junk drawers, and you're just like, oh yeah, I remember we got that on, you know, that stamp or that magnet on vacation from somewhere. It was just fun, actually. I actually had a really good time, like just going through stuff and organizing things. I'm also a weirdo. Like my wife will tell you, it's like really disturbing. I get excited to go to like the Container Store. Like that's like my favorite place to go to. I love organizing things, and it's like it's fun for me. So like I'm not even joking. Whenever like we like are going to you know, like the mall shopping areas or whatever, which is pretty rare. I'm always like, hey, do you need me to swing by the Container Store? You know, like I'm happy to go. You know, like I don't go shopping anywhere, but I'm like I like get really excited when I get to go to the Container Store. So like I'm weird. But you know, anyway, letting go can be fun. Lesson three was letting go can be freeing. I every day after day after day of doing this, like I actually felt like I had like a little bit of a burden taken off of me, like when you open your drawers in the morning and to like bust into the seams of t-shirts you don't wear anymore, it's just annoying, and you're like, oh god. You open up your medicine cabinet and shit's falling out. You're like, oh, I gotta clean that up, or your junk drawer in the kitchen where literally you can't even close it or open it anymore. It gets stuck every time you're trying to, because you'd cram too many things in it or whatever. I don't know if these are anything that you've experienced, but it's like, for me, it actually like mentally weighs on me because I don't like clutter, and I don't like, dirtiness, and I don't like non-organization and all that other stuff. And it was like a literal mental release, like every time you could just go chuck something in the trash can, or like bark something to give away to Goodwill or whatever. It was just like this little one less thing you have to worry about, in your life. And it was just it's kind of nice. And really, really enjoyed that feeling. And like I said, it was fun for me. I had a lot of good time. And then lesson 4 was, when you tidy, it magically attracts others to join in the fun. So I did not intend this. This was a solo assignment. And I did not ask anybody to do anything. I did not, I just got, done with work every night, and I went and did my 20, 30 minutes of tidying or whatever. And that was that, so I was just hanging out in the closet, or in the attic, or in the hall cupboard or whatever. And all of a sudden, Luca started popping up, and I would like be pulling stuff out of cabinets, and he would have a blast, like, pulling stuff out with me, and like, playing with all the stuff, and like throwing it away, or doing whatever. I had a little helper, half the time. And then the weirdest thing that happened, I told you this one before, my attic, that's in this room over there on the other side of the room, was just the bane of my existence. Like, we moved into this house in 2013, so it's been 10 years now. And there was a bunch of junk in our old basement, that it was mainly my wife's stuff. I mean, like 90% of it was my wife's stuff. I mean, by far, at our old house. And it was just a bunch of like old teaching boxes and junk, and her clothes, and just bed mattresses, and comforters, and just tons of shit. There was just stuff that we never were gonna ever use again, and never will use again. But for some reason, my wife does not share the same organizational philosophies as me. So I was content with her. We just chucked it in the attic when we moved here, and it stayed. And with having 2 kids now, like, there's a lot of things in there that are like kid stuff. There was a lot of furniture that was being added in there over time, and honestly, every time I would walk in there, I could hardly like walk in there anymore. I was like tripping over shit everywhere, and like, it just was more shit just being thrown in on top of it, and you kind of just close the door behind you, and you're like, oh god, I don't want to open that up again, kind of thing. So I had the secret goal of tidying this month, where I was like, I'm gonna tackle that attic. I'm gonna at least get my shit out of there, the old furniture items, like the old whatever. And I was like, I'm not gonna ask her to do it. I mean, I've been begging her for at least 5 years to go clean up the fucking attic. I'm not even joking. I can't even tell you how many times I've been like, can we please go clean the attic? And she's like, yeah, I'll do it someday. And I'm like, okay. Like, I was like, I'll do it for you. I just need you to stand there and tell me what you don't and do want. I don't care. Just please just walk into the attic with me. And like, never was gonna happen ever. And I said, fine, fuck it. Like, I'll just do it myself. So I happily went in there in the middle of the summer, and was sweating my ass off, pulling box after box of things that were just random items in there that had accrued over the years, and furniture pieces and bed frames and whatever, taking them downstairs in my garage to take them off to Goodwill to donate, or whatever it was, or give it to somebody else or something like that. And something magical happened about I don't know, maybe 5 days into this attic cleanup. So this is like the last half of the month. I was up there like every night for like a week and a half. And finally, I don't know what, maybe it was just me doing it every day. Maybe it was just, she was just curious. I don't know. Somehow my wife was like, agreed to actually come up there and do this with me. And I was like, holy shit. I was like, are you kidding? I was like, I'm not doing just 20 minutes with you whenever you give me time, So we carved out like an entire Saturday morning or whatever, where we just, like got almost all of her stuff out of there. Like we got like 90% of her garbage that had just been sitting there on the floor. Like, I could actually walk into the attic. I took it all to the dump. I just threw it all away. We went through everything, and I reorganized her stuff in there, like, and now like you can walk in there, you can store more stuff, like we can do whatever we want to do. And it was just like this magical lesson of like just when you start doing stuff, it attracts other people, even if they don't want to do it. Like I mean, literally, I begged her for years to like go do this with me, and it took me just doing stuff, and then she finally was like, oh, okay, all right, I'll help, you know. So that was a good lesson learned. So those are my lessons from you know, my month of tidying. Yeah, I'll pause there. I'd love to get your thoughts.
So okay, I think you have 4 lessons, right? And
Yeah.
so my question would be, what lesson would you want to, um, pick out as the, the lesson for the day, and how would that ties to company and a mission?
Well, everything has a purpose. I mean, that was lesson number one, and that's the most important
Hmm.
lesson, was that if you are limiting somebody else from having, or anything, whether it's a person, an animal, a living or non-living entity, if you are preventing that thing from fulfilling its purpose, you are in the wrong, and you should free that thing to go do what it should do. It's supposed to do.
Okay. What if those purpose is to bug you?
You're talking about like a bug?
I'm just saying everything has a purpose, but if what happened if that purpose is buggy? You saying you're supposed to let it live its purpose. If you don't, then you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
So aren't you in the wrong when you're trying to get the bugs out of it? Yeah, your addict.
I mean, I didn't kill him.
You could have, and you
I
might
could have.
have, if it didn't eluded you.
Hey, sometimes people, you know, sometimes things, you know, encroach on your purpose, and hey, they can't tell me what to do either. So, you know, I don't know. I think you're getting a little too deep into the bug thing. But no, I do get what you're saying, because
Well, the thing is,
it is true. Yeah.
I want to bring up a point. The point is, this is what we were talking about before, and we didn't get to finish it. The point is that um, everything has a purpose, but there's 2 perspectives to that purpose. Either from your perspective, say, because from my perspective is I am this person, I'm this whatever, and I want to do this, right? But to other people, you or me has a purpose for them. For example, if I'm a horse, for somebody as a horse, my purpose is to carry somebody's cart.
Right.
So that's their purpose for me.
Sure.
Versus my purpose as a horse is to go gallop in the field, right?
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying is there's the purposes that we have. It's very.
If you were preventing a beaver from damming, you were in the wrong.
But I'm saying is, we can get I guess confused between the purpose that we direct and the purpose that someone else direct for you.
Well,
Because
in an ideal world, everybody's purposes help serve each other, right? Like, and that's how when you just do what you do, and then everybody helps upward spiral themselves, you know, together, right? Like
well,
when I
well,
acquire,
that's ideal, but the world is not ideal. World is
yeah, I
a
mean,
wicked
I was
environment.
hoarding. Well, I was hoarding these T-shirts and stuff like that. Like, I mean, there's no reason. Like, I actually gave them away to a lot of like friends, or I mean, I'm a small guy, so
But
I have.
I think like to me, I don't relate to the fact that everything has a purpose for it, right? I don't
Right.
really care about its purpose. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm always am. And people can say, "Hey, I'm a dumbass. I'm a jerk. I'm a evil person. Whatever." I don't really care. I'm sorry, but I don't really care about anyone else's purpose except my own,
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
right?
But
And
that doesn't
so,
mean you
I
want
want to
to
put it out
prevent
there, right?
people.
Just live your purpose the way that you're supposed to be living. And so the thing is, the purpose of letting go is you have the so I agree that everything has a purpose, because without a purpose it would not be created,
Right.
right? So for example, we have a cup. Why the cup exists? Because we as a human being wanted to scoop something one day,
Right.
and we created to fulfill a function.
Do you have a bunch of mugs in like one of your cabinets you never use? Like, do you have like an old mug drawer?
My wife does, I don't.
Okay, so do you not ever sometimes look up there and go, "Oh, I remember when we got that mug at, on that trip to,
No, I forget. I
wherever."
forget anything that happens 2 days ago.
Fair enough. So, but like, how sad is it to have those mugs just sitting in that drawer, and you're like, oh man, like somebody else could be drinking out of this, and I just have it. I
That's the
don't
thing
need
is,
this.
I don't think about that.
I didn't
I,
either until I
I
had to
don't,
go
I don't,
clean these
yeah,
things.
I only think about myself. I'm very selfish for some reason. And
Well, maybe that's the lesson of this is like I had to think about like these inanimate objects that were just tucked away in cabinets that were not able to serve its purpose, and I felt bad. I mean, I literally felt bad. I would look at all those
well,
mugs and I would go,
I
"What am I
think
doing with these?"
I think the thing is, to me, there is a fine line between what you see and what I see. I think it's good to understand that everything has a purpose and use the tool or the object with as it's intended to be used. Just like I said,
Right.
before, if you have a corn slot, right, and expects you to insert a quarter, then you want to insert a quarter, so because it's the right fitting, it was designed for that. And so it's the same thing is I can use a cup to hammer a nail to the wall, but it wasn't designed to be a hammer. It was designed to be a cup to hold something to drink, right?
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying is having the perspective of understanding that everything was designed. If it was designed, I mean there is a original function that this thing is supposed to fulfill.
Right.
And if you try to use it in that manner, then you have maximized its usefulness, its fulfillment.
Right.
And you want to take that further. Say, okay, if the world exists in a fractal, right? I mean, if I understand what I was saying when I say fractal, meaning because that particular object, even though in a simplistic form, has the ability to resemble a part of us, a part of our life, because our part is more dynamic. Just like I'm saying, a fractal is like, for example, if you look at a tree, right? A single branch looks like a tree. A branch of a branch looks like a tree
Right.
because that's fractals. I mean, even the simplest one resembles the form of its ancestor. And so, looking at the cup, looking at the object with its intended purpose, if something was used by design, then it has maximized its fulfillment of function. So you take that to the level of how would I do what I need to do to be able to fulfill the design based on my genetic patterns. And to have that would give you the most fulfillment, the most uh, fitting functions for who you are. And I think to me, go back to tying to what we do and how or what we advocate in company is everything has a purpose, especially human beings has a certain purpose, and we need to make sure that it is being used as designed. But I also want to caution people that the purpose that you see from your perspective and for your set of genetics is different from the purpose that people say, hey, it looked like you could be, this guy. Hey, you could be, an employee. Oh, you could be, a coffee maker for me, or you could be battery from the AI perspective. Hey, you guys don't need to exist. You guys just gonna suck all the resources from Earth. I'm gonna
Right.
make you into a battery. So the, we can be a purpose of being a human battery, but that's the purpose from the AI perspective or from someone else's perspective. So in the sense of the modern world, right, we look at everything we do. The warning I'm giving is that a lot of people don't understand and don't do self-reflection to look from within themselves their purpose versus taking somebody else's word for what their purpose is supposed to be. Because like you say, hey Chris, it looks like you could be a lawyer. I mean, you talk great, and you like to argue. You could be a lawyer. You should be a lawyer. Your purpose is a lawyer. So
Right.
I just give you a purpose, and if you take that purpose, you be wrong. You're gonna be
Oh,
miserable.
I mean, I agree with the principle of what you're saying. Like, you can't tell somebody else, even an inanimate object, what their
But
purpose is.
the problem is that if you don't know
But
who
you also,
if you don't know your purpose, people can tell you your purpose, and because you have
well,
nothing to compare to, you accept it.
so I would say though, if you're an inanimate object, you were designed and
If
created for
you're
a purpose.
to me, if you're an animated object, and then I don't think it fits into the concept of what company is trying to advocate. I don't really.
I don't disagree. But there is something to it though. Like, I mean, there's everything that you surround yourself with in your life should help you to be the person you want to be, even if it's inanimate. You know, like I look around this room right now
No,
and I see
it's
like
not. It's a person you must be. It's not what you want to be. You
I'm
can
sorry,
say
yeah,
I can I say, hey, I want to be the president of the United States. That's not gonna happen,
fair enough. Yeah, fine.
right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
could be like Troy Aikman. You know, not gonna happen. Not
I,
gonna happen.
I don't disagree with that sentiment. I mean you're right. So sorry, the person you must be, the stuff that you have in your life should help support that, whether it is inanimate or animate objects, you know, whether it's living or not living, like it should help support that no matter what, in my opinion. And like I don't know, man. Like I mean I know this sounds weird. This is but I also spent a month doing this and like this is how I felt at the end of it. Like I mean I spent every single day with all my stuff. Like you know like you just don't do that. Like I mean like people don't spend time with their stuff. Like I mean it's and it's not my stuff. Sorry, spend time with stuff that's in my current possession, right? Like I mean there's a big distinction there. Like I don't you don't own anything because like hell even the home you and the you know that you own and the property that you have like you don't really own that. Like it's just you're you know you're just like even if
It's just in your possession.
yeah it's just in your possession for whatever time frame you have it. Like it was interesting to take inventory of the stuff that I have in my possession and go, does this is this fair to that object, you know, that it's in my possession, or could it be giving value to somebody else? And the answer was easy for a lot of that stuff. It could absolutely be giving value to other people.
So that's the thing is I look from a different perspective, and the thing is, I think I'm very forward in saying, look, I'm not this, you know, altruistic guy. I'm all for myself, right? So for me, it's my perspective. I'm looking at is this thing gonna help me? Then I'll keep the rest I don't. And for you, you
right,
say, look, hey, this thing it will help somebody, right? It's the same process, but the way I look at it is, hey, is it helping me or not, right? It's
right,
either one camp or the other camp, which is like, hey, it is gonna help me with what I do, with who I am, or it doesn't. It doesn't, then you let go. And for you, you look at it from the perspective is you're more altruistic and say, hey, look, uh, this is thing deserve to be, uh, used better than how I can able to use it today,
right.
right? So it's a selfish perspective, my perspective, and then your perspective is hey this thing is not fair for it to sit around and collecting dust.
I mean,
But
I don't know that it's not selfish the way that I looked at it, like because like I because letting go because the selfishness was lesson two, lesson three, lesson four. You know, like I mean, it was fun to be able to connect with my family. You know, to go do stuff together. It was fun to it was just fun to do this for me. Like it's an activity that aligns to my own purpose, and it also relieved me of a lot of my own burdens. You know, like and like so I'm not
and
saying
that's
it
to
wasn't
me that's my
altruistic,
main thing is it's going to release me of my burden,
right?
and the rest like
But that's
I
selfish,
don't, it's a very low priority. I don't really care. I mean, I don't mind if somebody else use it and have some. I mean, I'm not the kind of person that is like bitter by if I can't have it no one can. I don't have that attitude, but my attitude is like I'm the kind of person that I'm gonna look out for myself, but I'm not the person that's gonna go out there and harm somebody for myself for my own gains. If so that's where I draw the line, right? For
yeah.
me, I'm very straight, meaning like I mean I don't really care about anything else except if it involves me. If it involves me, then I have to care, and if that's the case, then I do it. That's why that to me is primitively every one of us has a selfish gene, whether it expressed more or less. It depends on certain type of people. Some people are very, I guess, altruistic, and it's always say, "Hey, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to change the world, whatever." I'm saying, I'm not going to harm the world, but I'm not going to go out of my way and sacrifice my life to save the world. I don't
Right.
really care, right? And to me, it's like, so I'm not like extremely on the other end where it's all about me and I want to take, right? And at the same time, I'm not a person that, oh, and the other side, and I'm gonna give. I don't do that. I mean,
Right.
I give when I can, and I don't give when I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with saying that I'm this selfish bastard that whether you like it or not, I don't give an F about whether you do or not. But I'm saying is the reason why I'm saying that is looking out for ourselves is one of the genes that we have, and that's what makes us us. But at the same time, in the second order thinking, in order for you to be the most selfish, you have to work with others to gain the most, versus
Right.
just being, stupidly trying to grab things without calculating. Hey, if I grab things, I only grab, like, if I have two hands, right? I can only grab two things,
Right.
right? So if I would grab three things, well, I need somebody's help. And so in order for me to get three things, right, I would get somebody to say, hey, you hold a basket, I hold the other end of the basket. You put three, I put three in, and we can both hold it. So for between the both of us, you get three, I get three. If I do it by myself, I don't get two. So the second order thinking is, hey, beyond just grabbing this thing for yourself and gain the most, right? How can I gain it more if I can? That's why for me, the selfish gene is very logical. It's because if you have the selfish gene, but also have the ability to reason, you would want to work with other people. Like, capitalism. People hate capitalism for some reason. I
Right.
don't understand. I mean, the thing is, if
Well, I
if,
mean,
if without capitalism, no one can own a home. And you, me, I can't build a home by myself. I just can't. Right?
well, but I think the reason why people can't stand capitalism is kind of what I'm talking about with like all the cups in the cabinet or all the t-shirts. It's like when is enough enough? It's like you have more, you don't use it. Like if you have a lot of money and you don't use it, what's the fucking point? Like
But
what is the point?
but the thing is that is not what capitalism is. You
No,
understand
no,
that
I no,
capitalism.
I understand what it is. I'm saying that like it's not wrong to it's not wrong of me to have a bunch of t-shirts that I don't wear. There's nothing wrong with it. Like I mean, like by all means, if I can afford it, I can buy as many t-shirts as I want to that I don't want to wear or do wear. Like there's no right or wrong. Like it is just
But
it
nobody, no, man, I'm saying before is like you said that too. No one owns anything,
right,
and
right.
so in a capitalist society, you think they're holding all the money, but they're not. They're spending it.
Some people are, some people aren't. Like and that's okay because that's how
Most
it all
people who
works.
save are the one that's doing it, and the people who save, it's like tiny percent compared to the people who actually spend it. Because in order for you to make a boatload of money, you have to want to spend money. The thing is, if you look at out there in entrepreneur world, right? A lot of people, they want to own 100% of their company. But you look at Elon Musk, he owns like 23%. Look at like Zuckerberg, he owns like 12%. But that's billions of dollars. But that's
Mhm.
the thing is, people want to own everything, but they own 100% of nothing, versus 12%
Right.
of trillions of dollars. It's billions, right? And so in the capitalist world, right, you understand that in order for them to become massively rich, they have to spend the money, they have to spend the business, and in order for them to maximize money. I mean, it's like having money, or having, let's say, having um, the ability to, let's say your money is, people say put your money to work, for example. You don't want to let your money sit. You have to let your money go out there and do things
because that
to
because
make
that's
more
that's
money.
lesson number one. Everything deserves a chance to serve its purpose. If the money's just sitting there, like money has a purpose. Money is to exchange value for something else, right? Like
Right, but
t-shirt,
that's
like
that's from
this
the
is a
perspective
this is
of.
value hoarding, is what it is. When you have a lot of money, you're value hoarding. Like when you have a lot of
But that's the thing is,
t-shirts, you're value
that
hoarding.
doesn't work that way. In the term of money, if you're holding money, you're losing money.
No, I understand. I'm saying that that's kind of what I'm saying is I had a realization that like, you know, everything deserves a purpose and you're either allowing it to serve its purpose or you're preventing it from serving its purpose. But at the same time, like you can't.
I'm just saying, yeah, man. I think we both saying the same thing, but I'm saying it from a different perspective. I'm saying, look, it doesn't serve me any purpose for you to sit there and do nothing. You're my
No,
money. You need to go out there and make me some money.
in a similar no, seriously, in a similar vein, like you're a t-shirt sitting in a drawer that nobody ever wears, like
Take up space.
it takes up space. And then B, like, I mean, there's homeless people that I drive by every day that, you know, they have old tattered ass clothes that are outside, and, you know, they would love to have, you know, 20 new t-shirts or whatever that they don't. I mean, like, why not? Like, I mean, they don't have it, like, you know, like there's no reason. I don't wear them. Like, I'm talking about stuff that I don't wear, I don't care about. I don't even like, it wasn't even
But
a
that's the thing
question.
is, from a selfish perspective, right? It takes up my space, and my
Yeah.
space, right, is something I need for something else. And
Well,
you are
I,
costing me money. You're costing
ironically,
me resources. So I need to get rid of you
well, ironically, lesson
to
five
serve
of
my
this,
purpose.
well, I was going to say, like, in a funny twist of fate, you know, lesson five could be, you know, when you clean stuff up, it just gets filled back up again really fast. Like, honestly, like, I look
But
around
and that's a question I was
yeah.
was going to ask following the other questions is, you know, if you find like, hey, it's liberating to let go of things, what makes you want to, you know, get attached to it and get into possession in the first place?
Well, okay, so let me unpack that one in my own thoughts. Like this shirt, I like this shirt. It's comfy. I've had it for years and it fits well. I bought like four of them because they're super comfortable, and I really like this shirt. So I'm not gonna say I'm attached to this shirt, but I like this shirt. It represents me. I feel like in a weird way, this shirt and me are kind of one and the same. You know, like, as much as I found a home with this shirt, it found a home too, right? And it served, and we're both serving its purpose. Like, we help each other. You know, this shirt's very versatile. I can work out in it, I can run in it, I can go play tennis in it, or I can go to a meeting in it, you know, like for work, or I can do this
But
conversation.
I'm asking the shirt that you never wore.
No, I
I mean,
know.
I understand the shirt you wear and has a purpose, and it still does, and that's
Well,
fine
you said
to
what's the
me.
point of getting attached to it? I mean, I'm not attached to
No,
it,
no,
but
I'm
but
talking about all the things that you let go, because the first thing is, you know, when you clean out something, you're gonna keep the things that serves a purpose to you,
yeah, for sure.
right? And the thing you let go, which you say is liberating because you let go of something you
Yeah,
don't need, right?
all it did
And
was take up space in my brain.
so it takes up space, right? It basically, but the fact that you have a lot of shirts that you have never worn, that means that, you know, for whatever purposes that it you had intended to use it for, it
Mm.
wasn't.
Sometimes sometimes I just acquired them. Like, it
That's what
wasn't
I'm saying
even.
is, you know, when I go and consult for the other company, they come and give me shirts,
Right,
and you know what?
exactly.
And then you know what I do? I say
No.
no, thank you.
I don't know why. I always am like, maybe this is another one I can go work out in or something like that. I'll go home and I'll try it on, and I'm like,
No, I
I
said
don't know.
no, thank you. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, the thing is, this is what I see people do as well. I mean, they'll take anything. It's like,
yeah.
oh, I'm a large, but I'll take a small. Or I'm a small, but I'll take a large. Like,
Well, no,
but it
I did never
doesn't.
do that. I didn't.
But I'm saying is
Yeah,
people are taking like 3 or 4 shirts, because
right,
for me it's like, okay, it is a shirt I like, and I'm gonna wear it. I'll take it, and if it fits, I'll take it.
right.
If it doesn't fit, I'm not gonna. Oh, I'll take it. You know, yeah, I can use it, whatever. I don't. And the thing
Right,
is, the first thing is, if I don't like it, like it doesn't match my preference, my liking, you
right,
know, my likeness, I don't take it. And
right.
then
Yeah,
second, if it doesn't fit, there's no point in getting, because I can't wear it.
yeah,
But
right.
the thing is, I've seen, like, you know, like I say no. But the thing is, whenever they bring out those giveaways, nothing was left. And that's the thing is, people have the tendency to hoard things. But
Yeah,
at the same time, is without having the understanding of what you need, what you have, you know, it's gonna fit you like glove. We talked yesterday. You're gonna trying to take everything. But
so like,
the point is, when you take everything, it takes up space.
Yeah.
it doesn't have any room for the thing that's supposed to fit. I you have a nice.
Well, like you have too many. Even if it did fit you, and even if it was a perfect shirt, like I have way too many other shirts that are already serving its purpose of a daily shirt
If you
that
don't
that I
wear
can
it,
wear.
it doesn't serve a purpose. I don't care
This
if
is what
it
I'm saying.
fits.
No, I agree. I'm saying this is what I'm trying to say is like even if it did have a chance to be the perfect shirt for you, like it was so far down the list of even getting into the a trial run, to see if it made the cut or not. Like that it was almost an impossibility, right? Like I mean, it was I so I like shoes, um uh like tennis shoes and sneakers. Like I'm a
Hmm.
bit of a sneakerhead, right? Like I like colorful Nikes and and running shoes and basketball shoes, and I'm not a big dress shoe guy or something like that, but I love my sneakers, right? And every single time that I like go to like the finish line, or I go down to like the outlet malls or something like that, like the Nike factory outlet, like I'm like a sucker, man. I cannot I like it's so hard for me to walk out of there without buying another pair of gator shoes or running shoes or something. Like I just love shoe. And half the time, like not half the time, 90% of the time, I don't wear any of them. I just like them. I just like to possess them, and I don't. I just like to look at them. I don't like to get them because I don't want to get them dirty. Like I don't want to put them in my regular rotation. I have regular rotation shoes that I don't give a shit about. Like they look good enough. Like I take them outside and I'll get them dirty, and I don't care because I don't care if people see me looking like a homeless person in those shoes. Like I don't want to get my nice shoes dirty, so but they still serve a purpose for me. Of they bring me spark joy, right? Like they do spark joy. Whenever I look at them, they spark joy in me. So I keep them and I'm okay with that. But I've cut myself off from buying more because like I have plenty of shoes to spark joy for me now. And like unless there's like a really 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 unique shoe that I like loved as a kid or something like that, or like that really sparks joy. Like I've multiple times I've gone to you know shoe stores and I'm like, I'm gonna buy some shoes today, and then I'm like, no, no, I don't need. I literally I go there for a purpose to buy the shoes, and then I'm like, no, I don't need it. Like well, what I'm getting at in a roundabout sort of way is like if an item does spark joy and it has some purpose, then keep it. It's fine. Like it's not. But if it's just the 30th shirt and the
Yeah,
t-shirt.
but to me, it's to me, it has to have a space. So let's I
True.
don't know if you know a lot about football.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, so imagine you're the coach, right?
Mhm.
You're the coach. You have you have a two first round pick, a first and second pick, and there is and this year there's like great quarterbacks, right? Great quarterback class. So I think you
Wait, are
have
you saying you're saying you have the number one overall pick and the number two
number one
overall pick?
overall and number two overall pick.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
and then you're gonna pick, right? Let's say you're gonna pick the best quarterback, right?
Okay.
But then the best quarterback here, this guy is has a lot of the the quality to make a superstar quarterback. And then
Sure.
the second in line is also a good quarterback. You would
Sure.
love to have him as well, right? For the Colts.
Sure.
And you draft the first guy because the first guy is it's a very rare specimen. The second guy is also rare, but it has the opposite of the characteristic, but it has other dynamics. Where let's
Yeah.
say you have a good pocket passer versus a good like scrambler, right?
Sure.
So those two guys. So the thing is, if you have two, first the first overall and second overall, would you pick two quarterbacks because you like it? You like the second guy because the problem is when I see it
Good question.
in that
I'm,
scenario,
I know the
one of the
answer in
quarterback is
practicality,
not going to be, it's not gonna have its chance to bloom.
but he could get
So
injured.
you
He could.
basically kill his career. So to me, in a way, if there is position, there's a space on the shelf for your sneaker, or there's position in a
Right.
team for the guy to develop and flourish. You pick him, you draft him, and you put him in that position. But you don't want to draft him just because, yeah, I like it, but they don't have a space for you.
That's
You
I mean, that's a good point. No, I mean, like my shoe drawer, my shoe cubbies are full. Like, I mean, literally, I don't have any more space. I have no more space in my shoe cubbies in my closet, and that's one of the reasons why I don't want to buy any more shoes either. Because to your point, like I don't. Same thing too with like these kind of shirts. I have a rotational bin, if you will, of
But
shirts
like
that
I
I go
say,
through.
it's
Like,
utility,
yeah,
right? It's
right.
utility. Can you use it for its intended purpose? If you don't, then you're basically suppressing its expression.
Purpose. Yeah, no, I mean this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying is everything deserves a shot. It deserves a chance to serve its purpose in the world. Like if you like
That,
and visibility matters. I do agree with you. Like I there are shirts and even I have like okay, so I have one main drawer in our like this like shelving thing that's in our closet that I have like all my t-shirts in. Even in that drawer, every one of those t-shirts have been pre-selected by me as shirts that are make it in the rotation. But even in that drawer, like I don't even get to 70% of the t-shirts that are in that drawer because I never make it past like the first like 4 or 5 because that's all I can see. And that's what I wear all the time. That's what goes in the washer. That's what comes back. Like I don't even know what's below them anymore, but I know that I pulled them all out before and I pre-selected them and I said, these are shirts that I want to wear. Even in that drawer, I don't have visibility in the ones that are below those top like 4 or 5 shirts, and I never fucking wear them. Like I don't even know what's in there. I mean, I could not. If
and
you
that's
ask
my
me right
point.
now, yeah,
Is utility.
yeah,
Utility is what I think it's a indicator for purpose. Because if you don't use it, then it's not serving you, right?
agreed,
Meaning that it's the purpose are not aligning. Your purpose and its purpose are not aligning.
agreed.
Therefore, it gotta go. It gotta go, right?
Or
Meaning like
or it needs to get a
it,
shot.
because the thing is, let's say you have I don't know much about shoes because I don't buy them, but let's say you have like every you know type of shoe with whatever characteristic of shoes is, and let's say they say, hey, this is the shoe, and let's say they make a better version, but it's the same version, right? And there's no space and there's no place for you to put them on. What do you do with it? Do you buy the new one or you not buy the new one?
Well, I don't. So I have many different shoes for many different things. I would never if this was like a a, a fun shoe that I like don't wear regularly, but it's like for special occasions or something that's like like I call them my flare shoes. Like I'm not upgrading that to them. I only buy that model because I like that. There's something that sparks joy about that model for me in particular. So it's not like I'm buying it for functionality, right? The ones that I buy for functionality, like my tennis shoes, like my literal tennis shoes that I play tennis in, like I wear the shit out of those down. I grind them down. So like I do go get the next model because I have to go get the next model because I destroy
But I'm
the
saying
previous
the
model,
one that you put into the glass case, right? The glass
Right.
case where you display. And then there is a newer model or a better model or a more
I
likable
don't care. I
model
don't
for
I don't care
whatever.
about those. Yeah. I mean,
Right. And so the
yeah.
thing is, that's what I'm saying is people what I'm seeing is people they buy all of them because they're hoarding it. Versus
Yeah.
like if they have no utility in it, what you do is you either you don't buy the new one or you buy the new one and you get rid of the old one. You don't keep both.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. I mean, I
Right?
throw away
I
my old
mean,
tennis shoes
go
after
go go back go
I
back to the NFL team that I'm talking about. Like, if you say, hey, I have Patrick Mahomes now. I like uh, Lamar Jackson as well. I guess
right.
Lamar Jackson is a little bit different the playing style than Mahomes, but at the same time, I can't keep two quarterbacks in that
Right.
caliber. I have
Right.
to, right? So that means that if I were to get um, Lamar Jackson, I need to trade Mahomes. I can't just keep Mahomes.
Well, what's sad is like you're like there are backup quarterbacks, obviously, in the league. Like I feel really sad for them because they never get to fucking play. They never get to fulfill their
No,
purpose.
different quarterback has their purpose because a lot of quarterbacks they don't want to be superstar. They just want to
Oh, that's
be
true. Yeah. I
quarterback
mean,
because they say, hey, I don't have to do the work and I just sit there and that's what they want. Man, different people
well,
have different wants.
I mean, they still work, but they just don't. They do different functionalities with them. They don't have to be a star.
They go to the
Right.
practice, but I
Right.
mean they basically in the practice squad most of the time and they don't have to go out there and
But that's
perform.
value. I mean, they can provide value for the defense. They can provide value for for the starting quarterback. I mean, that you can still provide value as a backup. But I get your point. Like they don't want to be the first rotation guy in the first rotation anyway. So if you have two compete, maybe what you're trying to if I can rephrase
Functions,
parrot
function.
that back. Right.
Because
Yeah. Right.
a first string quarterback is first string quarterback. I mean, you
Right.
don't have two first string quarterback because the second string they say, hey, I know where I'm at, and I'm comfortable with being the
Yeah,
second string quarterback, and I want to be here. My function is a second string quarterback. I don't want to be first string because
right.
I don't have the talent out there, and it's too much pressure for me to
So
be
I do not
first
buy
string
second
quarterback.
string shoes. I mean my second string shoes are my everyday shoes. Those are my second string shoes. Like those are the
But it's
ones that
not
are like
second string if you use it.
no. I
It's just different
no
class.
no
It's
no no
different
no.
positions.
I like to keep Patrick Mahomes in a glass jar in my and just go, man, that guy is just special. I like like
I mean,
that's
but that guy's useless. I mean, if I have
no, he's
Patrick
not
Mahomes,
useless. He
if I
sparks
have
joy for
Patrick
me
Mahomes,
every time.
if I have
He's
Patrick
useful for
Mahomes on
me.
my team and he sit on the bench because he's holding out, I ship his ass to the Browns.
Well, no, you're missing you're missing what I'm saying. You're looking at it from a utility of production on a team. Like I'm talking about just for myself, selfishly. If I knew that,
But
if I
selfishly,
could,
if I own a team, a
I don't want to get.
first string quarterback must perform for me. That's my purpose. My
Well, that's
purpose
fair.
is to have a guy. Because the thing is, Mahomes has no value, and no one would know his talent unless he out there and show the world what he can do. Because
But,
when he first drafted, yeah, people say, well, Mahomes is Mahomes. Yeah, yeah, he have made some hype, but no one know what he can do until he
right,
starts to play, until he's able to meet expectations and surpass expectations. Then he become more valuable. He say, hey, that guy, just pay what he wants because he's worth every single dollar that you give him. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's the thing is for me, if Mahomes on my team, his utility is the purpose I want him to have because I don't want to have him and have him sit on the bench and then have like Lamar Jackson do the work or having
right,
maybe draft or trade for Aaron Rodgers and have Aaron Rodgers do the work and Mahomes can just sit there, right?
right,
That to me, it doesn't serve my purpose from having to possess him in the team.
right. No, it's funny you're saying this because I just had this thought of the you remember 99 bottles, a
Uh-huh.
couple weeks ago, where it's like wine's meant to be drank, and like the whole
Mm-hmm,
entire lesson
mm-hmm.
behind that, right? Like I'm
Yes.
and the funny thing is I'm sitting here arguing for my shoes that I never wear, and you're like, why would you what really nice shoes you never wear? And you're like, it's a really good point, Drew. I don't know. I'm gonna fucking start wearing my fun shoes. I can always
I mean,
like
it's like you start drinking the wine you put in a shelf that you would never gonna drink,
right.
right?
I mean these poor little shoes are I mean, they do spark joy every time I see them. I will say that. Like, but God
Like I
damn it, they
say,
need to
if
get
I
out and
have Patrick
walk.
Mahomes
Like,
on my team,
yeah.
he's in the bench, I'm shipping him out.
I'm taking my Grant Hill Filas, from my '96 Grant Hill Filas out for a walk tomorrow or something like that, or
Yeah.
my old my Penny Hardaways that I bought when I was
That's what I'm saying. You're
yeah.
saying like everything deserves a purpose, and you're suppressing these
I
shoes'
know,
purpose.
I know these poor shoes. Jesus, I feel so bad.
Now it's even worse.
they got to get out. They got to get out, man.
Yeah, you've been locked in every
I mean,
in that case for like years.
5 minutes ago, I was just arguing to put Patrick Mahomes in a little jar in my closet, and they go, oh, there's little Patrick, and he's gonna be
Yeah,
like, let me out of
Patrick.
here, let me throw the
Let
ball.
me
Like,
play. But you imagine, right? You imagine benching Patrick Mahomes. What do you think he's
I'm
gonna
not
feel
talking
like?
about benching him. I'm talking about putting him in the locker room in a shrine and
Yeah,
saying no, like
yeah.
nobody
No
gets to
one
touch him.
touches
No,
you.
no one
Not
touches
that.
it. Like, yeah,
Not no. So no injuries, whatsoever. You
right.
basically protected. You're basically like Sherman in a shed.
I know. I put him in a class. It's like I'm killing my shoes. What am I doing? What am I doing? These poor guys. They're so beautiful and they're so much fun too. What am
But
I doing?
I just can't get past the fact that Patrick Mahomes' value is only because you let him be his purpose.
I know.
He has no value. Regardless, he's the same guy with the same gene and everything. You put him in a glass
Yeah.
case, he has no value. No one's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
value him as much as he is valuable to the fans today.
Yeah, no one knows my cool neon, running shoes,
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no
yeah.
idea what you're talking about. Nothing neon shit. What?
I mean, I mean, I have, Reebok pumps. You remember the pumps back in the day? Yeah. I mean,
Nice.
I got pumps. I got, I mean, I got a ton of like awesome skater shoes that I love, like, that they're like kind of, anyway, I have a ton of like, I mean, like no joke. I mean, I don't have a ton of shoes, but I have like, I probably have at least 40 shoes or something like that,
I have one
and
pair of tennis shoes and it's like
right.
completely it's peeling off and I have to buy a new one. It has holes everywhere and
Oh no, I
the,
have those
the
too. Like
sole is coming up
yeah,
and I'm still using it.
right. No,
My wife say, "Why don't
I
you
have
go
those
get
too.
your new pair of shoes?" And it still works.
Hey man, you're doing it better than I am, if in my personal opinion. But no, that's interesting. Okay,
I
all
mean,
right. Well, I learned a lesson
that
tonight
shoe
of
has served its purpose and beyond.
I know everything has you're right. Everything deserves to have a purpose, and it deserves to be
Because
utilized.
the value comes from purpose. You think about it. I mean, that's
Right.
why I love the fact that I brought up Patrick Mahomes because you think about it, if Patrick Mahomes would never play a single game, no one would
Yeah, he's
say
useless. Yeah,
he's
nobody
useless. Like
cares.
no value,
Yeah,
has
yeah,
no value.
yeah.
So that
Right.
means that in order for anything
Well, that's not true. Patrick Mahomes
to
inherently
to
has
to be
I
have
like
perceived purpose.
right.
No, no,
He has no
no.
value in the way that we know him today. Like I mean, like of what his
Well, value is determined by the utility to somebody. A value is something is value to me because it's a utility to me.
right.
Because it cut
I know what you're saying.
right,
I was just making a clarification
or
that Patrick
a
Mahomes
well, Patrick
value
Mahomes,
is
you value in our eye, in the fans' eye, is
right.
we like games at that level,
Well, he gets to
and
do what he does.
he brings he brings
right.
value in that sense.
He gets to
From
do what he
our
loves.
perspective,
He's
right?
beavering on purpose.
From his perspective, is different, right? He
Yeah.
said, well, he wants to, um, you know, be better than himself, yesterday and whatever. So so that's his purpose or whatever it is that he wants to do. That's fine. But like I say, from my perspective as a fan, right, he would not be of any value to me as a fan if he has never played a game because I don't know who he is. I don't care who
Yeah.
he is. I haven't seen his play.
No, you're totally right. I mean, I just was making sure that I like clarified like when we say I know what you're saying. I was just trying to make it like a little bit more
Confusing.
put in the caveat on it that maybe somebody else didn't understand what you were saying that we weren't like that they didn't go, man, what these fucking assholes are talking about, this guy has no value in life, if he didn't play football. I'm like, no, that's not what I was saying. But like, or that's not what you were saying is
Yeah,
all I was trying to say.
but you think about it. Let's say you told Patrick Mahomes that he no longer can play because you don't want him
Yeah,
to play. You don't
no,
want him to get
it's
hurt. You don't
wrong.
want him to
Like,
get hurt, right?
right.
He isn't going to be able to be happy if he's not able to play. So he
Yeah, you're
has
taking away
for
his ability
himself,
to
he
be
has
here.
no purpose because
Right.
he has trained all his life, most of his life, to become the superstar. And you telling him that he can't play,
Right. Right.
it's
Right.
it's gonna break his heart. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
and to him, he's like, "Hey, my life has no value now, has no meaning,
Right.
because I can't do what that I love to do."
And that's how
So
my shoes feel.
so utility, right? Utility brings out purpose from different perspective, from your perspective, from other people's perspective as well.
Right.
Meaning you are killing your shoes.
I know my
Potential.
my poor shoes. I think that's a good place to stop for the night. I got to go put my shoes on and go,
Yeah, put your
prance
shoes
around.
on.
Yeah, prance around
Hopefully
the
it
house.
still fits.
Oh no, these are all shoes that I bought as an adult. So my feet haven't grown, since I was, I don't even know.
Okay.
50, whatever. So like they all fit. Like yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, the question we can leave with everyone is what lessons can you learn if you spent some time tidying and letting go of things in your life? I'd be curious to learn. I encourage anybody to take this monthly challenge. This was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a fun time, and yeah, I'd love to get your thoughts if you do decide to take this one up, and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, I might do one of these days. But I did like some cleaning before. Like I told you, I was doing like I throw away one thing once a day, right? Just pick up something and say, hey, I don't need this thing anymore. I just toss it, right? And
Right.
that was good too.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Like there's something nice about just dumping it into the trash, and you're just like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
gone.
getting rid
It's gone.
getting rid of your burden.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yep, I agree. Awesome. All right, well, that was fun. We will see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, good night.